Hello, and welcome to Science Before Sleep. Tonight, we'll slowly approach one of the most mysterious habits of the human mind. Every night we close our eyes, let our bodies rest, and without even realizing it, we pass into another world. Sometimes we see familiar faces. Sometimes we wander through places that have never existed. Sometimes we fall, sometimes we fly. And sometimes we move through strange stories that, when we wake, we can't explain why they felt so real. Dreams are one of the most familiar yet least understood experiences of human life. We all dream. But the question of why the brain does this has never been fully answered. Are dreams simply the mind producing random images? Or are they a secret process the brain runs at night? A quiet mechanism that organizes memories, processes emotions, softens fears, and prepares us for the next day. Tonight, we'll think about this together, but first, just relax. Let your shoulders go, slow your breath a little, and gently surrender your mind to this calm nighttime journey. Let's begin. The human brain doesn't shut down completely during sleep. In fact, at certain moments, especially during the periods when we dream, it becomes surprisingly active. Many people think of sleep as a dark, silent, motionless void. Yet inside the brain, a completely different life unfolds through the night. Sleep is not a single flat state. It's made of layers. Light sleep, deep sleep, and then one more stage arrives, the period recognized by rapid eye movements, where most of the most vivid dreams emerge. During this stage, the eyes are closed, but they move. The body is largely still, but the mind builds scenes. The brain seems to have switched off the lights of the outside world, yet inside, it opens a new one. This is what we call dreaming. Most of the time, it is this inner world itself. But why? The most honest answer science can give is this. We don't know with certainty why dreams exist. But there are many powerful theories. And what's interesting is that each of them likely carries a piece of the truth. The first great idea is that dreams are connected to memory. Everything we experience during the day leaves scattered traces inside the brain. Conversations, faces, small embarrassments, joyful moments. Half-finished thoughts, fears, newly learned information. The brain can't carry all of this at once. Some things need to be selected, some strengthened, some quietly erased. Dreams may be the visible face of this nightly work. The experiences of the day are processed again at night. Scattered pieces are brought together. What matters is stored. What doesn't is quietly withdrawn. Memories aren't simply kept, they're reorganized. Maybe that's why in dreams we can see an old friend and our childhood home in the same scene. Maybe that's why a small thing that happened today can merge with a memory from years ago. Dream logic seems strange to us because time, space, and cause and effect don't work there the way they do during the day. But perhaps the brain's purpose isn't to construct a logical story. Perhaps the purpose is to process memories. Another powerful theory says that dreams are about emotions. The emotions we experience during the day sometimes outlast our bodies. An argument ends, but the feeling lingers. A sadness seems to pass, but it leaves a small echo inside us. A fear is suppressed in the daylight, but resurfaces at night. Dreams may be a safe space where these emotions are revisited, as if the brain is finding a way to look at feelings again without hurting us again. While we sleep, our bodies are in bed. There are no real dangers. But the mind can restage fear, loss, longing, shame, joy, and wonder. Maybe that's why dreams sometimes feel so intense. They're not just images. They're the theater of emotion. The mind may be trying to process at night, in a gentler way, what couldn't be carried during the day. This idea is deeply moving. Because then a dream is not meaningless noise. It becomes the night shift of our emotions. Some scientists suggest that dreams may have an evolutionary function. According to this view, dreams, especially those containing threat, may be one of the brain's ways of rehearsing, running, hiding, preparing, falling, being chased, losing your way. Many of the themes people dream about most often involve some kind of threat or uncertainty, perhaps for our ancestors, this was very useful. By simulating dangers over and over in a safe space, the mind became better prepared for the next day. So a dream may be a small drill run for real life. Not an alarm, but a rehearsal. Not a disaster, but a simulation. Of course, not every dream is frightening. Some are peaceful. Some are absurd. Some simply fade away. But this theory still reminds us of something. The brain doesn't waste energy. The fact that such a vivid, intense, and regular experience has been preserved through millions of years of evolution almost certainly means it carries some meaning. So why are dreams so strange? Why does a school corridor suddenly turn into an ocean? Why does someone we haven't seen in years speak to us in a dream? Why is everything in a dream accepted as normal? Perhaps because the dreaming brain is not bound by the rules of the waking brain. While the logic centers step further back, the systems for imagery, emotion, and association become freer. That's why dreams often don't move like a story, they move like a poem. They exist not to be explained, but to be felt. In dreams, the impossibility of something doesn't prevent it from happening. Because during a dream, the brain doesn't always ask, "Is this real?" It operates more by asking, "What does this feel like?" Maybe that's why dreams are a zone where reality and imagination blend. There, logic loosens, symbols grow stronger, emotions take center stage. And for the same reason, some dreams stay with us even after we wake. The details fade, but the feeling remains. We don't fully remember what the dream was, but in the morning we might feel a vague heaviness inside us, or a sense of peace we can't quite explain. Another interesting question is, if dreams are this important, why do we forget most of them? This is one of the strangest aspects of dream research. People dream multiple times almost every night. But the great majority of those dreams vanish within minutes, as if the mind wants to show them to us, but doesn't want to keep them. Perhaps dreams aren't meant to be remembered. Perhaps their real work is to organize things inside. Even without being recalled, they may still be doing their job. Like a night cleaner who works through the dark and disappears by morning. When we wake, we simply experience the effect of the result. And yet some dreams are impossible to forget, especially those that arrive with powerful emotions. Fear, loss, love, longing, wonder, shock. The more intense the emotion, the more lasting the dream can be. As if the brain writes some scenes in darker ink. Some people can even become aware within their dreams, realizing, while still inside the dream, that they are dreaming, and sometimes even steering it. This experience is called lucid dreaming. It's quite remarkable. The fact that the human mind, even in the depths of sleep, can turn back to itself and ask, "What am I experiencing right now?" is truly extraordinary. This also shows us the boundary between sleep and waking is not as sharp as we imagine. Consciousness doesn't always shut down completely. Sometimes it simply changes form. It has long been thought that dreams may be connected to creativity, because things we don't connect while awake can come together in a dream. An idea merges with another memory. A fear mixes with an image. A question transforms into an absurd yet inspiring scene. Maybe that's why some people find a solution after sleeping on it. The saying, "Let me sleep on it," doesn't exist for nothing. Saying the brain solves problems during sleep might be too bold, but it can give problems a different order. And sometimes the solution emerges right out of that reorganization. Actually, one of the most fascinating things about dreaming is this. Dreams don't only tell us about the brain. They tell us about ourselves. What we fear, what we miss, what memories we carry, which emotions are still unresolved, which thoughts continue to live quietly behind the conscious mind. Dreams are not always hidden messages. Not every dream needs to have a mystical meaning. But still, dreams are among the most personal productions our mind makes. They are not the weather report of the outside world. They are the weather of the inner one. And perhaps the most honest approach is this. Dreams may not serve a single purpose. Maybe they're connected to memory, maybe to emotion, maybe to learning, maybe to fears, maybe to creativity, maybe to all of these, a little at a time. The human brain is one of the most complex structures we know in nature. Expecting such a structure to fall completely silent at night would itself be strange. Perhaps dreaming is the natural consequence of this complexity. A system that works this intensely doesn't rest at night either. It narrates. It organizes. It erases. It erases. It connects. And sometimes it turns all of this into images. Perhaps a dream is the brain's way of talking to itself. This thought carries something very calming within it. Because then sleep is not only the body resting. It is also the mind gathering itself, telling its own story, repairing itself. The intellect that faces the world during the day turns a little inward at night. It looks at itself. It follows its own traces. And we, when we wake in the morning, remember almost none of this. But maybe that's exactly what matters. We don't have to remember everything. Sometimes the work the mind does at night simply makes us a little more able to carry on. Maybe that's why the world seems a little more bearable after a good sleep. Maybe that's why some mornings we feel lighter inside. Maybe that's why night is not just darkness, it is also repair. Now slowly, we're coming to the end of tonight's journey. Tonight we've seen, there is no single definitive answer to why the human brain dreams. But dreams are probably not meaningless. They may be the processing of memory, the softening of emotions, the rehearsal of dangers, the quiet ground of creativity. Or a night language, still not fully decoded, where all of these weave into one another. Perhaps what makes dreams so captivating is exactly this. That we can't fully decode them. That they are a world every one of us enters every night, yet brings nothing back from in the morning. Right now you two have perhaps already slowed down a little. Perhaps your thoughts have loosened. Perhaps the words are reaching you from further away. And that is beautiful. You don't have to hold on to anything anymore. Let the knowledge quietly dissolve. Let the sentences slowly melt away in the dark. Let your mind find its way back to that old rhythm that belongs to it alone. Because while you sleep, your brain will keep working. Perhaps organizing memories. Perhaps calming emotions. Perhaps showing you a dream. Strange. Beautiful. Uncertain. Light enough to be forgotten, yet real enough to be lived. Thank you for accompanying me on this quiet journey. If you enjoyed this video, you can subscribe to the channel, like the video, or leave your thoughts in the comments. But for now, you don't need to do anything at all. Just rest. Feel your breath. Let the weight of your body go. And let the night carry you gently. When morning comes, the world will still be there. But for now, the night is yours. Good night.